Hey guys, it's time to make some Week 3 NFL picks. Let's go. We got the Pats and the Jets. I'm taking the Pats. They can name the score in this ball game. Even without AB, New England's still one of the best teams in the league. The Pats are going to win easily. CJ Mosley's out for the Jets. Not only that, but they also have to play this game without their franchise quarterback Sam Darnold, and Luke Falk is starting his first game against a Bill Belichick-led defense. I'm going to go ahead and take the Pats in Gillette. Second game, we got Kansas City against the Baltimore Ravens. Action Jackson, Lamar Jackson, man. He has looked good for the past 2 weeks, but I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're still so explosive. Even without Tyreek Hill, they have Sammy Watkins. They have Travis Kelce. Even without Damian Williams, they still have Shady McCoy. They have Darwin Thompson, who impressed in the preseason. And I think this Kansas City defense is better than what we give them credit for. They added Frank Clark. They added Tyrann Mathieu. At Arrowhead Stadium, I expect them to beat Lamar Jackson. I like what Baltimore has done. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, is making this offense more diverse. But let's talk about Lamar, folks. He played one phenomenal game against Miami. But Miami's Miami. They're tanking. They're the worst team in the National Football League. They can go 0-16, honestly. Let's talk about Arizona. They could be the second worst team in the league. And yet Kyler Murray, my guy, still made that a ball game last Sunday. I think Kansas City is way better than Baltimore, even without Tyreek Hill. I can see Kansas City winning a close game, pulling away late, but I got the Chiefs. Let's go to the Texans-Chargers game. The Chargers, what happened last week, folks? Against Detroit, they completely blew that ball game. Austin Eckler fumbled at the 1-yard line. Phillip Rivers talked about how they made so many mistakes in that ball game. The Chargers are also missing Melvin Gordon and Derwin James in the secondary. I love me some Deshaun Watson. I said before that draft, I love Deshaun more than any other quarterback. Although the offensive line hasn't protected him very well, he's still a rising star in the National Football League. He's got D-Hop. He's got Will Fuller. He's got his new weapon, Kenny Stills from Miami. Deshaun's my guy. Duke Johnson in the backfield. I expect Deshaun to lead another game-winning drive in LA. The Chargers don't have a great home field advantage. My guy Deshaun, watch out for him, folks. The next matchup I'm going to shift to is in CenturyLink Stadium, baby. We got the Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson taking on the New Orleans Saints with Teddy Bridgewater, Taysom Hill. Who knows? Obviously, the Drew Brees injury is devastating, folks. The New Orleans Saints genuinely felt like they had an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. And they're not mistaken. They have a phenomenal roster around Drew Brees. That's why I think New Orleans still has an opportunity, even without Brees, to win 2 to 3 ball games and potentially stay alive in the playoff hunt. This roster is more than Drew Brees. Sean Payton is one of the best coaches we have in the National Football League. Point blank, end of period. But I'm going with Russell Wilson in Seattle. They don't normally lose a ton of games at CenturyLink. This kid, Russell Wilson, want to talk about what he did last year? Threw for 35 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's a 5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, folks. And he's turning water into wine. DK Metcalf, although he was a second-round pick, everyone was looking at him as a guy who could potentially be a bust. Russell Wilson said, I'll take that challenge. Boom, I'll turn DK into a superstar. He's got Tyler Lockett. That defense is better with Jadeveon Clowney. Even though they lost Frank Clark, they don't lose very many games at CenturyLink. I think New Orleans can still win the NFC South and still win the NFC, but this is not the right place or the right time. I have Seattle winning this ball game. And finally, for my final game of the week, we got Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns taking on Jared Goff and the LA Rams, baby. This is the biggest game in Cleveland for a while. Baker Mayfield's got that swagger going on with Odell and Jarvis Landry and all that hype heading into the season. And the LA Rams are the defending NFC champions. Hey, watch them last week against the New Orleans Saints. They look pretty darn good. I got the Rams winning this ball game. I love me some Baker Mayfield, but Wade Phillips is a phenomenal defensive coordinator, and I expect them to neutralize Odell Beckham. They'll neutralize Jarvis Landry. They'll try to shut Nick Chubb down. Remember, folks, Baker's without David Njoku, his young tight end. He's without Antonio Callaway, young rising receiver. And he's without Kareem Hunt. And this offensive line is not looking too good. Even the second they moved away from, they traded Kevin Zeitler, I knew their line would take a step back. That Olivier Vernon deal was a bad trade. Now, maybe their line will come around and they'll start to improve, but this isn't the right place, right time for shake and bake in this Browns offense. Jared Goff last week impressed me. Folks, Cooper Kupp last week, whew, he still can turn on them Jets with Brandon Cooks and my guy Robert Woods in the middle of the field. This Rams offense is the real deal, and Todd Gurley can run that football. So I'm going with the Rams. I'm going to say 29-20. I'm going to say the Browns keep it close for 3 quarters, and then we start to see the genius of Sean McVay late in the ball game. So with that being said, I have New England winning this week. I have Kansas City winning this week. I have the Texans winning. I have Seattle beating the Saints without Drew Brees. And I have Jared Goff and the LA Rams beating Shake and Bake and the new look Cleveland Browns. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe.